welcome to Love Island the morning after, the only official Love Island podcast.
My name is Amy Hart, and joining me with Indiyah Polack, we have Joe Bags. He's here all week, and today we have the wonderful dumped Islander, Ellie Jackson. Ellie, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So lovely to have you in here.
Thank you so much.
How are you feeling now you're home?
It feels good to be home, to be fair. It was getting quite intense in there, I can't lie. And I think all the girls wanted the goss, all the family wanted the goss. So yeah, it's just nice to be back with them, to be honest. But yeah, no, it was an amazing time, but I was definitely ready to go when I left.
Yeah. Can you sum up your experience in 3 words?
Fun, obviously, chaotic and unpredictable.
Oh, that's a good one, actually.
That's a good one. Unpredictable. You never, ever know what's going to happen in there. You never know what tax is going to come, clearly.
Yeah.
So yeah, unpredictable, definitely.
Right, Ellie, let's get into it. We know you left with Trey.
Yeah.
Tell us, is he taking on you some dates?
So he said he is, yes. We're obviously really, really busy since we've come out of the villa. We've definitely got some things planned. He is in London with me right now at the moment. So later on we might meet up for like a little drink or something, but we're both very busy. So we're just going to go with the flow and fit each other in when we can, but definitely still in contact and definitely still going to see each other.
Oh,
lovely.
That's nice.
Now, we can't have you here without touching on your history with Ciaran. Were you shocked, happy, surprised to see him when you went in?
So obviously I knew he was in there before going in, and the last messages and the last encounters that we had with each other were quite flirty. So I guess I was a little bit excited going in just to kind of assess his vibe and sort of see how loyal he was to Nicole. It was definitely interesting on the first day, kind of seeing his stunned reaction, like telling all the boys he's not sure if I was one of the 120. And I was like, hey, let's set that bar straight now. Like I was not. But yeah, no, when I got in there, it did make me a bit excited. I was home from home as well.
Yeah.
He's like a comfort person in there for me because obviously he's familiar, isn't he? So yeah, that slowly kind of got shut down a little bit when he kind of said that, you know, he was all for Nicole and things like that. But yeah, it was still really nice being around him in the villa every day. So yeah.
I mean, we also did see that Ciaran was a little bit anxious about Nicole's reaction during the kissing game from, you know, seeing them in the villa. Do you think they're going to go the distance?
I think they could go the distance, yeah. I do think that Nicole may be slightly paranoid about what he could be like on the outside, just by obviously from things that I've said, from other things that, you know, people have been speculating about in the villa. So yeah, I do think they could go the distance, but it's whether or not they may last very long on the outside. That's all I'm thinking.
Talking of lasting on the outside, you had a front row seat to Sean's little dalliances. Obviously, he said that Matilda's kiss got him tingling downstairs. Do you think they will go the distance?
If you'd have asked me this a couple of weeks ago, I would have said yes. I think since Casa and More has happened and, you know, everyone's kind of got a little bit more settled, I do think that Matilda may have the ick slightly from his actions in Casa.
Yeah.
I think prior to that, she was all over him, really liked him. And then I think this has maybe slightly turned her off, but she's still obviously got a lot of emotions for him. So it's hard to just completely turn the switch off.
Yeah.
I think it's like a gradual process for her, but who knows, I could be wrong.
I'm like 100% with you on that.
Yeah.
I said this yesterday, didn't I? I
you
definitely
did.
think she's starting to get the ick. And that comment, like I even saw her, she was like,
Great, thank you.
yeah.
A heat wave has struck the island, and no, we are not talking about the Casa bombshells. It's time to debrief on the islanders' fire fits with headline sponsor eBay. Casa and More equals surprises, and seeing Jess in the rat and boa dress was my type on paper. The legacy runs deep, with the stunning dress previously being worn by Arabella in All Stars, Ella in Series 10 and Sammy in Series 9. For glam movie and date nights to drinks with the girlies, gotta love the versatility. Ciaran got lucky with Ellie, Lucy and Emma during raunchy races. Clearly it had everything to do with that sexy Jacquemus tea. Finally, feelings blossomed for Jess and Io when he whisked her away to the hideaway in his iconic Levi's jeans. Could they be boyfriend material? And that's a wrap on these red-hot pre-love looks. Discover more villa inspiration on eBay. Fashion fit for a second chance. eBay, sponsors of Love Island. Do you think there's anyone in there for Connor? Because he seems so lovely and he was like an open goal in Casa and More. Like he had nobody. He was in a friendship couple. Like that would have been an easy way to get back to the main villa. But only Emma on the last day had a quick conversation where she didn't even look at him.
I know. Yeah, I did see that. Do you know what? I personally don't think anyone has walked into that villa yet for him, but that's just based off what I've seen and his interactions with everyone. Obviously, him and Emma were coupled up, but I think the chemistry really wasn't there.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think anyone has been in there for him. Potentially, him and Grace could have had something if she wasn't so clung to Joey at the start, because Grace did say that Connor was her type. So potentially, if she wasn't so caught up on Joey, that could have blossomed into something, but we'll never know.
Who do you think is for him? Like, what type of girl do you think?
There's only 2.5 weeks left, my love. We're running,
We're
running out of bombshells.
There's nothing I mean we could put in there.
I think the type of girl he needs is someone who is really, really transparent, because I feel like all the girls that he's been in couples with, friendships or not, just haven't been 100% transparent with him, including Emma. She's honestly one of my girls in there, but I think she could have maybe told him a little bit earlier that she wasn't that interested, and then maybe she could have got to know one of the other boys.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
It's a weird one. Sorry to digress, but just while we're talking about it, like historically, you've had your people like Dr. Alex and Anton and Hugo the teacher and Farmer Will and stuff, and people who haven't been that lucky in the start of the series, and then people come in, make a beeline for them. Connor hasn't been in the bottom really at all. He's obviously popular with the public. He's obviously a nice guy.
He's lovely.
And I'm really shocked that nobody's gone in being like, I'm here for Connor.
Maybe it is snoring. Maybe it is.
Oh my God, he is the worst snorer ever. I'm not even joking you. It's awful.
Everyone that's come out has made a big deal about his snoring.
Maybe it is that.
Emma slept with like literally 1 million like earplugs in her ears every night, like, and couldn't get to sleep. She had about like literally like 30 minutes sleep a night when she was sharing a bed with him.
Maybe that is it.
In this day and age, I feel like a lot of girls love a bad boy, don't they? And someone that winds them up a little bit. And Connor is not a bad boy.
Connor is a kids' TV presenter.
Yeah, he's a lovely guy.
He's not a bad boy.
I know, and nice guys finish last.
Yeah, they do. Talking of finishing last, obviously, Reuben, bless him, he made that big speech about picking Uber, and then she went, I'm going home.
Yeah.
That is the ultimate pie. Like giving up your place in the Love Island villa.
I know.
Now he's back to square one. He liked Grace and Emma. Emma's gone. Do you think him and Grace have got legs?
If I'm being completely honest, I think Grace's eyes are going to light up in this moment. Now she's kind of got full reign to do what she wants. Blade's gone.
Yeah.
So I think potentially she could maybe get with Reuben.
Any chance her and Joey?
In my personal opinion, I do think Jessie and Joey are really strong.
Yeah.
I think it would take a lot to break that up, including Grace. You know, especially after that massive bust up on movie night. Like, I don't think you can just come back from that straight away and be like, actually, I fancy you.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen. I do think Jessie and Joey are really strong, but you never know in that villa.
So we know that Love Island isn't just about romantic relationships. It's also about friendships. So is there anyone in there that you think you're going to, keep the friendships going with? Maybe the boys, some of the girls?
So I literally got on with all the girls in there and most of the boys as well.
Yeah.
So definitely going to stay in contact with all of them really if I can.
Yeah.
You know, obviously I had my time in Casa.
Yeah.
We've all got like our own group chat going on, I'm sure.
I was about to say, have you been added to the group chat?
Jess and Emma will be added once they're out and we can speak to them. But also absolutely love Matilda, Jessie. Like those girls were so welcoming towards me, and Nicole, absolutely lovely. So I'm not going to lie, we've already planned nights out, me and Nicole, for when she gets back to Cardiff.
That's so cute.
Like, I just can't wait to see all of them. Honestly, those girls have got not a bad word to say about any of them, apart from maybe one. But
You got to spill that tea.
I just don't think maybe me and Grace are on the same wavelength a lot of the time.
Okay.
I'm not sure whether that's because we didn't really get the chance to hear each other out. You know, some people just don't gel.
Yeah.
And that's just life, isn't it? You can't be friends with everyone.
I do agree. I've always said that with Love Island. Like, a lot of people act like it's family and like you have to like everyone, but realistically, like, when you live with people, you don't have to like them all of the time.
It's family.
So, like,
it's just a large dysfunctional family.
Exactly that.
Casa Amor is notorious for its dramatic moments and shocking switches where islanders have to make tough decisions and do what's right for them. So we're counting down the best Sky Mobile Mimii moments, Casa Amor edition. This girl knows what she wants, and in third place, we have Jess speaking facts.
I know what my type is, and it's that.
Now, Jess may have mentioned that she is the prize, and I love how confident she is, and she always knows exactly what she wants, and she's gonna get it. Coming in at number 2, we have Sean, the sweet salesman, selling himself to Ruby.
I'm the mature man you need.
Yes, Sean, you are mature cheddar. And at number 1, Professor Jess S. manifests.
I believe in the law of attraction. What you put out, you will attract. What you manifest, you will attract. What you think, feel and speak, you will attract.
Understood.
And I think about Io.
I mean, if that's what she's been manifesting since week 1, she is a master manifester because he ran straight after her. Unlike Casa Amor, Sky Mobile offers hassle-free switching. Simply text to switch and embrace your me energy. So tonight we had a double dumping.
We did.
We've got 4 people out. Hopefully nobody will have to sleep on the day beds unless they do wrong. It wasn't couples that got dumped. It was single islanders.
Yeah.
So Hugo and Blade and Emma and Jess. And Io and Jessica were in the bottom 3 of each. So they were at risk, but the public did vote for them. Why do we think that those 6 islanders didn't receive the most votes?
Personally, I can see why Io and Jess were put in the bottom, just because obviously Mimi's absolutely lush and she hasn't deserved anything that's being handed to her there at the moment. And I get where that comes from. When I was in there personally, I thought that Io and Jess's connection were amazing, but obviously the public will have all their opinions, won't they? And they'll want to stand by Mimi, etc. So I think that's why they could have been in there. Hugo and Jess, maybe we got the vibe that they weren't really on the same wavelength with each other.
You know,
the silence is deafening.
I don't want to say anything. Do you know what? There's a lot more stronger couples in there.
Yeah.
It just is what it is.
I think that we've started to see Hugo maybe get the ick a little bit with she comes on quite strong with him. She obviously really fancies him. He's not seeing that sexual chemistry. So I think we've seen that. They're not strong at all. We started to see him kind of pieing her off. So that made sense to me anyway.
Yeah. I also feel like low-key kind of backtracked a bit though.
I think
because
so.
I feel like that first conversation at the start of the episode, she was obviously asking him how he felt and whatever. And I just felt like, Hugo, I don't really know if you're being honest because you know how you feel about Jess, but it doesn't sound like you're telling her.
I agree. It was giving, we're coming up to the end. I don't think I can graft Matilda in time.
Did you see when they got the text about the kissing challenge, in like the little musical interlude, like the getting ready for the challenge bit, the first thing was Jess and Hugo on a beanbag snogging.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Do you know what? Now you said that, I remember that now. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, all right, Hugo.
But who instigated that?
Maybe she was practicing. Maybe she was practicing.
So do we think that they will make it on the outside, or do we think that they'll continue on the outside?
No,
I don't think so.
I don't know, I'll give it a good go. Whether it lasts is not up to me.
Yeah. I think Emma and Blade was a given, to be honest.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Their time was up, to be fair.
Unfortunately,
Yeah, which was sad.
But yeah, she didn't really find anyone in there, did she?
You said about Jessica and Io as well. You got to remember, all the people that voted for Mimii and Io in those first weeks, their vote is now split. After the episode, the vote came in. If you're going to vote for Mimii, who's just met this amazing guy, or you're going to vote for Io and Jess, like who are you going to vote for at the end of the episode?
I feel like, no disrespect to Io, like, you know, he's himself, he's a nice guy. Yeah. But as a public and as the viewer, we do emphasize a lot more with Mimii because she was the one that was standing there by herself.
Yeah, she is the people's princess. She deserves the world.
Amazing person.
She's incredible. And I think we saw the sparks last night.
Oh my God.
And we wanted to see more.
I couldn't even
I am scared. I'm really scared.
Well, let's talk about Mimii and Io. I feel like we're back in week 2. I feel like I'm in a time warp.
What is he doing? Like, it's so weird to be in there and see Io and Jessica S getting on like a house on fire. I was like, their chemistry is unmatched. Oh my God, this is what Io needed. This is what And now I've seen Io do that. I'm like, oh mate, no, like please.
But Casa's a lad's holiday.
But do we also think
that's the only thing, isn't it?
It's a lad's holiday, but do we also think this is low-key a little bit disrespectful just for the sheer fact that Jessica is in the video?
Oh, it is. It's awful,
and it's very evident that you can literally see Mimii getting on. She's found Josh, she's having a great time. And it's like, where was all of this energy when Mimii was single and she was quite frankly begging for your attention?
Yeah.
Where was it?
The grass isn't always greener.
It's not as greener where you water it.
Yeah.
Don't water it now that Mimi's found someone else.
To be fair, again, every week for the last 5 weeks, you lose them how you win them. And unfortunately for Jessica S, I'm sure she's a lovely, lovely girl and I think she's coming across really, really well. However, she's seen how Io has behaved, so she cannot be shocked.
No.
She must have watched the episodes before and known that when he said, yeah, me and Mimii, we're chatting. No, you're not. You're like pretty much in a relationship with her.
Jessica S even said to Io at the fire pit when he recoupled with her, you're brave. So it's kind of like, I don't know whether Jess is giving him too much of the benefit of the doubt. So almost excusing his actions as bravery when it could be greed.
Yeah, putting him on like a pedestal to be like.
I
wouldn't say so much a negative way, but I feel like Jess does stroke Io's ego a lot.
Yeah.
But not in a bad way, but I feel like she makes him feel good. And I feel like you notice it where he just comes out his shell when like she's always not in a bad way.
No, not in a bad way at all.
But in comparison to like Mimii, who will actually just let him be and be like, yeah, okay.
But you can stroke someone's ego so much, but I think it'll get to the point where you kind of want someone to play hard to get. And I think that's what Mimi's now doing. But the way she was laughing at him, it was obviously like riling him up. Like the sexual tension was crazy.
That's what makes it so tough. And I always say it's kind of like, depending on the situation, I'm being very careful with how I say this, but nothing beats an old flame. And I mean that in the sense that when you have a connection with someone, it just is what it is. Like, for example, who's trying to salt? I am never getting back with any of my exes, like ever.
Yeah.
But I cannot deny that I do have chemistry with them because we got together at a point.
Yeah.
We know each other. We know how to make it laugh. But it doesn't mean I want to be with you.
Yeah.
But like with Mimii and Io, not to say they can get back together, but they've been getting to know each other for nearly 4 or 5 weeks. They have that natural chemistry and that bond. So it's like when he wants to flirt with her in the bathroom or in the den, he knows how to make her laugh. And as the viewer, we're just like...
Mimi's energy is completely different to Jessica S's energy. And I think potentially he saw Jessica S's energy and thought something completely different. Oh my God, like ooh la la type thing. Like, let me have some of that. And then maybe he's had time to kind of sit back and reflect and realize actually what he wants in a partner and what he wants in a girlfriend. And he started to think maybe Jess's energy is maybe not for him as much as Mimi's might be more for him.
I mean, if you've been there since day one, you're knackered. You're sitting on beanbags every day talking about the same stuff all day, every day. You do start to get complacent about, oh, well, I can lay on the daybed all day because there's always tomorrow to play a fun game or whatever. And then you go away, the Casa girls come in and they are like bright, they're bubbly, they're ready to party.
And that's what
They've got stories.
Jess
They've got
that.
you know, new takes on things. I get it 100%. My issue with this whole situation is that if it was that one conversation that Mimii and I had tonight, where it was like, you know, that kind of sexual banter, they went away, he went back to Jess, she went back to Josh, and then that was it, I'd be like, fair enough, like you guys have just said. However, I went back to Jess and didn't tell her what happened in that conversation. I was like, I'll speak to you later. He then went up to Joey upstairs and was like, yeah, like obviously I miss her and stuff. So I feel like he's actually going to pursue this, guys.
You think he's going to try and win it back?
I think he is going to try and win it back because it's not like it was one convo, he's dropped it.
Yeah.
He's continued it and he's also now starting to hide things from Jess and starting to go on. I'm scared.
But okay, let's put a little spanner in the works.
Okay.
Mimi's having a fantastic time with Josh. Do you think she's going to have it?
But you said nothing beats an old flame.
Nothing beats an old flame, but sometimes you have to go with your head over your heart.
And also, the way that Mimii was with Josh, like with Io, we didn't see her a lot. We didn't get much from her. She wasn't zinging. Whereas with Josh, when they're like in the hot tub and they're snogging, and they're like doing handshakes and they're having loads of fun. Again,
it's not as deep with Josh.
It might be because it's new, but when it was new with Io, it wasn't there.
But is this her Casa? And then she will go, actually.
I miss Io.
Because she didn't have her Casa up, really. She just laid on the daybed.
And maybe if Josh came in at Casa, do we think things might have been different?
No, I don't.
Do you not?
You don't think if Josh came in at Casa, she might have recoupled with him and then that would have given her a quick
Me would have been 100% loyal regardless.
I know. I think that. Yeah. Oh, God.
I think tonight's episode will tell us a lot because Mimi's had Josh there and had Io there and she's been able to get to talk to both of them, get to know both of them. She almost lost Io last night.
Yes.
So I think what happens tonight will sort of set the trajectory for how this is going to go because don't always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone.
And that might have shaken her up.
It does shake you up. When someone you got a little thing for ends up in that bottom two, you start reflecting. You start
thinking. Do you think she might also think, well, without me, he's in the bottom, so the public might also be rooting for us together? Maybe.
Nah.
No. When people say, you know, oh, people need to realise, you know, now they've been in the bottom two together, they'll go and explore other options. Unless you're very, very in there calculating, working everything out. I don't think people do that.
No.
I think people get more like, I need to prove to people why we are actually a good couple. Because some people might say, you know, oh, well, now Io's been the bottom two, Mimi's not going to go anywhere near him. Again,
I don't think Mimii thinks that calculated.
No,
I don't think
she does.
I do think she's laid back too, innit?
She is the mental health nurse, though, you've got to remember. So she is going to protect herself in a lot of situations. So even if she does have like these kind of, you know, rekindled vibes for Io or whatever, or flames will start firing again in her head or whatever's going to go on in that conversation, I do think that she's not stupid.
Absolutely.
Oh, no, definitely not.
And I do think that anything she does will be genuine. And I think anything she does, she'll go about it in the right way. Please, for Jess S's sake. But I think she knows what she's doing and she's not going to let Io just snap her back up like that.
I hope she doesn't do.
No, I don't think she will.
I think him being in the bottom two, it might make her feel a bit shaky. It's like, someone I like.
Is it
might
bad
go.
that I'm rooting for them again, though? It is bad.
I knew you were as well.
I don't know why.
I'm not getting involved in this.
I saw that chemistry last night and I just thought, I'm rooting for you again.
It's hard for me to see that though because I've seen the way he is with Jessica S.
Joe.
I know. I feel like a snake, but it's just I'm one of those viewers that's been attached from the start.
It is tough.
It's hard.
It's really tough. But you know what though? I just feel like, why do you get the choice of like messing up and then coming back to me?
I know.
Sort of thing? Do you know what I mean? Why must you realise that the grass isn't green on the other side and it's where you water it? I'm off now and I'm having the time of my life. So you can suck on a lollipop stick and watching me have fun.
I know. If I was Mimii, I would have caved.
I would have finished.
Yeah.
I would have caved.
She might have done, but she might not have seen it.
Did you not see the giggles?
Yeah,
she
no,
caved.
but what I mean is, she's so like cool, calm and collected, and she has been for the whole time.
Yeah. She has.
We would be like, oh my God, I just love you so much. Whereas her, oh my God, I love you so much is the little
think
giggle.
It's the giggle.
Yeah,
Agreed.
this is her time to mess his head up a little
Yes,
bit.
it is her
Agreed.
time.
Yes.
It is her time. And if she decides to get back with him, we're going to love her anyways.
So be it.
Exactly that.
Talking of messing people's heads up, Joey was messing Jesse's head up in the kissing game. Grace went in for every boy and Joey was going, whoever that was on a lip sync ting.
And I just think you're a grown man. Love you and all, but that can be the it.
I don't know. I think Joey's just Joey, isn't he? He throws a lot of comments out. To be fair, I do think most of them are harmless. I do just think he says things without thinking sometimes. Being in that villa and seeing those two's chemistry, I do genuinely think that he's only got eyes for her.
We also saw that Jessie was quite upset by the game. Do we think it was quite understandable or was she overreacting? Personally,
that is a horrible game. It's the numbers.
But not only are you getting ranks, not only are you watching your partner kiss someone, but you're also listening to the comments they're making after the kisses.
I know.
It's not
like,
nice. It is very much salt in the wound.
My only viewpoint on this is that if Nicole didn't lose her mind at this challenge, then I'm a bit like, it should just be a fine one. Do you know what I mean? Because I judge things by how much she loses her head.
Yeah. But also,
and she was fine.
But Nicole and Ciaran have been together a lot longer.
Yeah.
And I just feel like at this stage, we know what Nicole's like. Nicole's Nicole. Jessie is Jessie. But I just feel like Joey, like there wasn't really much reason for you to be reacting so outlandish over every single kiss.
Yeah.
And it's just sort of like him and Jessie don't have that kind of relationship where you need to constantly reassure her. So in a game that is so sort of like individual and you know it's like, she's going to feel away if you don't like her kiss or like you like everybody else's but hers. It's just a bit sort of disrespectful and I just think it's sort of like, who are you trying to like prove yourself doing this game?
Yeah.
If you're so closed off with Jessie, anytime someone kisses you, your mouth should be closed.
Yeah. You just mentioned Nicole and Ciaran, Nicole being Nicole. One thing that I really took from last night's episode was when Jess got dumped, Nicole said in the beach hut, when I've been going off at Ciaran, she's been there telling me, you're out of order, you're wrong. And I thought, if that's Nicole with Jess telling her that she's stupid, what the hell are the next 2 weeks going to be like?
Well, can I just say, movie night, Nicole started with 10 acrylics. By the end of movie night, she had none left, like biting them off literally one by one. Like, and I just think sometimes it wasn't massive, the bust up on film festival night. I do genuinely think sometimes maybe she finds it hard to control her reactions with Ciaran. Exactly what you said. If that's what we've seen after people calming her down and reassuring her, God help you on the outside.
Jess has essentially been the voice of the nation.
What's she going to do without Jess in there now?
I think Ciaran's about to have the worst week, to be honest with you.
You know what, guys? We've not got long.
No.
So she might be able to hold on.
Hopefully Matilda will step in. Matilda, who did get voted the best kisser.
Top snogger.
I think that was a good one because I think she's quite humble with it. I feel like if Grace had been voted top snogger, we would have all known about it until the reunion.
I do think Matilda's got a very humble, like she just seems like a very good time, lovely, genuine girl.
She's lovely to everyone in there, and I think anything you see of her is so genuine. She does not change her tone when she's talking to anyone in there. Like she treats everyone like they're a brother or sister, unless they're Sean. Obviously, that'd be a bit weird.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I'm not here now for the rest of the week because I am off on my hen do. Thank you, Ellie. Thank you, Indiyah. Thank you, Joe. And I'll see you next week.
So guys, we'll see you tomorrow and make sure you don't forget to like, comment and subscribe and give us a 5-star rating because as I like to say, we will give you a 5-star show. Bye guys.
Bye.